Hi Doty Knights. I'm coming to you to share a memory that means the world to me. 1 year ago today, on October 13th, 2019, I completed a lifelong goal. I actually ran my first half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. It is something I had dreamed of forever. I trained for it. I was physically, emotionally ready to take on that challenge and complete that goal. Fast forward to today, exactly 1 year later, October 13th, 2020, and boy, has my life changed. Lots of changes have occurred, and looking at that picture and thinking back over the past year and all the changes that have happened in my life and how those changes have affected me, it made me start thinking about you and all the changes that you have gone through just in these past few months. Changes of not having an opportunity to physically be with friends, not having an opportunity to necessarily do the traditional type of learning that we're accustomed to, going to school, being in a classroom with our peers and a teacher, but having to do an online learning model. Lots and lots of changes. And I know how those changes have affected me. And I'm wondering how these changes have affected you. Sometimes changes can bring fantastic opportunities, and they can affect us in an amazing way. Sometimes going through changes has just the opposite effect, and it makes life a little complicated and a little difficult. If I think back over the past year, some of the big changes in my life were health issues, going through some health issues with my family and myself. Even the fact of not being able to have a traditional work day in place, not being able to get up, get dressed, and go to work, but get up, get dressed, and go to work at my kitchen table. Just those kinds of changes have affected me. And because I'm an adult and I'm able to kind of understand why things happen the way they do, I've done my best to let those changes make me better and let those changes make me stronger. And I do have some ways that I work through change, and I wanted to share them with you. These are things that I have learned from others, people that have gone through big changes in life, and they've come out positive people, encouraged people, and I was inspired by that. So I would ask questions like, what did you do to get through that point in your life? And we're all going through a change right now, a big change. And I want us to be able to get through this change stronger people, more encouraged people. And that's not just for students of Doty Middle School, that's for everyone in life. So if this is a YouTube video that you feel can help somebody, or if you want to share it with someone who is going through some changes and maybe just needs a little encouragement, please do so. Because I know people have reached out to me during my times and my changes, and it really helps to have support. So here are some things that you can think about as we deal with the changes of life and these things that we have been dealing with for the last few months. Now, I know this to be true. The only constant in life is change. That doesn't mean we're ever going to get used to it. Doesn't even mean we're going to fully embrace it. But change is inevitable. It happens. And so let's focus on these ways to let it make us better. We don't want it to define us or change who we are or our perspective on life. So let's talk about these things. Number one, acknowledge that things are changing. You can't deny it, even though sometimes denial can protect us, denial can also harm us. So let's just acknowledge the fact that life is different now. We have gone through some big changes, and what can we do to deal with these changes? Keeping your regular schedule helps. Getting up the same time in the morning, getting dressed, keeping a routine. If you walk your animals in the morning, if you walk your dog in the morning, continue doing that. It's important to have a routine because it makes you comfortable and it gives you that safety of knowing something is consistent and that it is not going to change. And you can determine what you do during the day and set your own routine. Write down the positives in your life that have come from this change. It might take you a while to come up with some positives, but that's okay. Think of some positives. Maybe this change that you're going through right now has allowed you to meet new people. Even if it's in a Zoom setting, you're meeting new people, you're experiencing different kinds of things. Maybe you've become a more thoughtful, more patient person because we have to wait for things a little bit more in life right now. We can't just go out and get everything we need and desire. So think about how the changes you've experienced have made your life better. And change also gives us the opportunity to grow. And it's important to acknowledge how things have become better because of these changes. Something really important that I think it's difficult even for adults, but maybe we should back away a little bit from social media. When you go through change, sometimes that makes us want to get on social media. We want to see what other people are doing, and we want to post about our life and what it's doing to us, these changes. Well, before you post, just make sure you're in a calm state and that whatever you're putting out there is the truth and it's honest, because you know it never really goes away. Once you put something out there, people see it, people share it, and you want to be able to be proud of what you post and what you share. And I know a lot of students do not have social media right now, and I'm fine with that. I honestly think that's probably the best way to go right now. But for those of you that have social media as an outlet, remember those things. It's important. And finally, just give yourself a break. Just realize that everyone is going through changes. Change kind of makes us feel a little out of control at times. So just take a minute, take a deep breath. Think about the positives in your life and reflect on how these changes have made you a better person. With a little bit to think about this week, it's Mrs. Red Fox signing off. Take care, Doty Knights. I always think of you and hope that you are doing well, and I will talk to you again next week.